of their courage. People like Tucker Carlson and Marjorie Taylor Greene, and I know a lot
Right,
of people
right,
are
right.
a lot of people are like very critical of them. Why are they doing this or whatever? And I just admire them because of their courage, because it's not easy to continue to take a stand when your life's being threatened and your kids are being threatened and all that kind of stuff. So
Right, right,
anyway,
right.
yeah, I'm so happy to be with all of you.
Okay.
No, just a little remark for with Reverend Judith. Yes, I too looked at the YouTube. Not a fan of Tucker Carlson, but I think what he said in that YouTube that you sent me that I looked at, I think he was kind of on point. Especially when he referenced the he didn't say it in this way, but the hijacking of even Christianity, and he said, yeah, I think he even said, he said, no, it is not Christianity what they're practicing. It's something different. And he also said that it's not going to last long either. So thank you for sending that. Baba, back over to you.
Okay, good morning. I see the Imam has joined us if he's ready to kind of say greet us this morning for a moment or two, and we'll get kicked off with our
Yes,
presentations.
Imam Hassan, Assalamu alaikum. How you?
Hey, how you doing?
And we are tight.
Uh,
So good to see you, beloved.
Likewise, thank you.
What's going on with TMC? Anything going on?
Yeah, I mean, things are going well. Is that they sent his son the bill USF, I think 2 days ago, declaring like so we are in the plaza with CARE, their civil rights group, and he made a declaration that they're a terrorist organization, and he tried to stop like a lot of the educational step up stuff for vouchers for Muslim schools. So it goes into effect in July, but he signed the bill on was Monday at USF. So they're trying to make things tough at the moment.
Brother.
Okay, if there's some time at the end, we'll come back to that. I want to talk on that just a little bit more, just
Yeah.
be some clarification. And I wasn't aware that the bill had been signed. But anyway, thank you. It's always a pleasure to have you on and have each and every one of you guys on. And but at this
Thank
time,
you.
we have a couple of presentations, if I'm not mistaken. And one was an early bird before even got on, before daylight this morning. She was already here on the line, and that's Dr. Barbara McCabe Gordon from the Gainesville area. The Cotton Club, is it?
Yes, the Cotton Club Museum and Cultural Center, and I'm Barbara McDade Gordon, and I'm really pleased that you are invited us to come back on this year. And I'm talking about it more immediately, even though I was listening to all of the presentations that people have made, and I have some connections I know with many of them. Certainly, Dr. Reverend Lucille Clark with the African American Heritage Society. We also have African American Historical Society, and we really like to get in contact with you. We're working on, promoting African American heritage, and later on this year, we're having a 250th anniversary Legacies of African Americans in Florida. So that's in August. So I hope to get the contact information. I don't know if she's still on here.
We're members of FOPIN.
Oh, FOPIN. Yes. Well, we're members of
Yeah, I
FOPIN as
know.
well.
Yeah, I get
Okay.
all your stuff from Ask Me.
Okay, then. Great, great. This is the Cotton Club Museum. We're one of the
Yeah,
museums that's a member of FOPIN. Oh, so
yeah.
this is great. I'm
We're an
really happy to know
affiliate.
that.
We don't have a building, so we're an
Mhm.
affiliate of FOPIN.
Right. Okay, wonderful. Okay, and also uh, specifically, I'd like to invite all of you to come out to our third annual Black Cowboys Cowgirls Extravaganza, 2-day extravaganza at the Cotton Club Museum and Cultural Center. and that's 837 Southeast 7th Avenue, right down the street from Depot Park and the Rosa Parks Depot as well. And it will be on 2 days, as I mentioned. April the 17th, Friday, from 6 till 9, we will have inside presentation. And in addition to our John Ronnie Nix, many of you know of him. He and his family have been in Gainesville or Rochelle, Florida for probably 100 years. They have a ranch and farm out there in Rochelle, and he has been very much a proponent of the whole idea of land ownership, especially among African Americans. You know, we've lost a lot of our land over the past 100 years or so, and we're trying to get people more interested in this, and especially young people. And he's walking the walk as the talk, and he has his own grandson who he's training to be in ranching and farming, and that farm. He started off at Santa Fe College, and now he's at University of Florida in agricultural engineering sciences. So he's really looking at that. Now, the idea of the our rodeo, the Black Cowboys, Cowgirls, we're not having a rodeo. We're basically having an event exposition. But there were two sides of this whole idea of blacks in cowboys. It started years ago, and we tell the history all the way back to Western and Northwest Africa when people came over from Africa, both enslaved and free, and brought their technology with them, brought their understanding of tending animals. And this was to the Americas, including, of course, Florida, Mexico, and on down. So we'll talk about that. And the other side, what grew out of the actual work, and it's hard work tending those cows and bulls from way back when up until now. Out of that grew performance, which is sort of the entertainment side. That's the rodeo side. And we'll also have a young man, in addition to John Nix's grandson, we'll have a young man, Taylor Seabrook, who is a professional rodeo star, up and coming rodeo star. He just won the Southeastern Rodeo in Ocala a couple of weeks ago. He's from Gainesville, but basically Archer Williston. His uncle is his mentor, and he's really training him in his pursuit of this profession. He's doing very well. So he will be there. Kylan will be there. And John Nix, he will do the premiere presentation on this whole idea of the history, a very visual and interesting portrayal. And in addition to that, when he lived in he lives here now. He's from Rochelle, Gainesville, but many years ago, when he grew up, he raised his kids, and he and his wife in Miami. And he had his daughters and sons going into rodeos as, kids, amateurs. So one of his daughters is Judge Michaela Nix Walker, and she's a circuit court judge. She will be here on Friday, talking about her experiences as a cowgirl in the rodeo. So we really looking forward to that. And Dr. Antoine Haywood, who is a relatively new assistant professor of journalism over at UF, he went to Morehouse and college. He's from West Palm Beach, and he and his interns, they have made an original documentary about these two young cowboys. So actual on their farm guys, Kylan and then Talon, who's in the rodeo. So he did a 30-minute video. So we're premiering that video on Friday. Rick Wallace, who's his uncle and who owns, I don't know, it's a little Pigfoot farm in Williston. He'll be there talking about that, and it'll just be a fun event. And with the movie, we'll have popcorn in a movie. You can't have a movie without popcorn. So it's there. And all of this is free on Friday, April the 17th from 6 until 9. Then on Saturday from 11 to 4, we will have indoor and outside activities like free horse rides. I was talking to you all earlier about this, and last year we just had a wonderful crowd. We had folks from 4 years old to 85 riding those horses. I like horses. I like this whole farm and cowboy thing, but those horses are so tall. So John sort of got me up on one of these horses. And I was just like, couldn't they make horses with shorter legs? But anyway, I got up there and it was fun. But, come on out and do that. We'll have live music from Scott Free Smith, and he was rocking last year. The kids loved it. They were all dancing in front of him. He was going on in his guitar, and John's on stage, and they were dancing along with him. Adults were dancing. We have smooth, and this is on Saturday. This is Smooth Flavor Dance dancers, and you all might know her, Wanda Lloyd, who's a teacher, and she has these wonderful events every year that teaching people to dance, everything from waltz and ballroom dance to line dance and to, boogie woogie. So they'll be out there leading people in line dancing and maybe square dancing. I love square dancing, but the last time I saw it, as many of you maybe was in seventh grade. We loved it. Boys and girls love square dancing. Never saw it again, but here it is. We'll probably have someone joining in. We'll have great food. We have again Smiley's Barbecue, wonderful. They're out of Doug Green's Jr. Uh, Sort of out of Monteoka maybe, but Gainesville really. Great barbecue. Uh, Precious Eats fried fish. That's Evelyn Fox's granddaughter and Germain's. And you all probably know about their wonderful chicken sandwiches. So they'll be there. In addition, we'll have vendors that are doing uh, uh, hats and jewelry, crafts, clothing, etc. In addition to our informational vendors, we have Manners, which is the minorities in agriculture students over at the University of Florida. They're going to come out with a booth encouraging people to go into agriculture, science, and farming, and several others vendors. And really, Lamar, when you mentioned that you're a coffee shop, and I know everybody loves coffee. I just sort of have tea. I hope you're doing tea as well. Uh, are you tea? Well, let's hope. But anyway, you might want to consider having a booth out at the event on Saturday. So I can send you my information. I'm 352 or 256 6671. And just give me a text or call and let me know. You're welcome. Our vendors who are selling things, there's a fee of $50. We have a booth. And if you're not selling, you might just want to promote the coffee shop. Then there is no fee if it's just information about your organization. But we would love to have you come out there and advertise the new coffee shop because everybody loves coffee. And please add tea if you
Yes,
haven't
please.
already. Okay,
Thank
great.
you. Thank you.
Okay. Well, that's really, about it. And we really look forward to having this program again. It's been very popular. People have come out, they've enjoyed it. A lot of people didn't know about Black cowboys and cowgirls in Florida. I'm from Texas. I knew about them in Texas, and I didn't know about them in Florida. But Florida has a history even longer than Texas because when people came from Africa, they didn't go to Texas first. They came over here to the East Coast in Florida. So Florida has a great history. So if you would like any more information, my number, and I can give my phone number. It's easier than trying to do my whole text, bmacdade07@gmail.com. But my phone number, Barbara MacDade Gordon, 352-256-6671. And of course, our Queen Mother, Manye Vivian Filer, will be there. Welcoming everybody to it. She's very much supportive of FOFN, of which we're a member. So thank you all so much for listening, and we hope to see you on Friday, April the 17th 6 p.m. and Saturday, April the 18th from 11 a.m. to 4.
Okay, uh, Dr. Gordon, were
Mhm.
you a professor at the University of Florida?
Yes, I was for 26 years. I came
Oh,
here
Carl,
to
I met you.
Gainesville.
I met you 30 years ago up there.
Yes,
Yeah, you should be
in
on the recruit.
1990.
You
Yes.
should do the recruiting stuff a little bit, if I am
Yes,
mistaken.
recruiting and also the Upward Bound program.
Yeah, okay, okay.
And
You
we
was with
think,
my man. What's my man name from Mount Olive
uh,
AME Church?
yeah, Dr. Mingo.
Mingo. Yeah, Dr.
Mhm.
Mingo. Them.
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, okay, good. Good report.
Thank you.
I'm gonna put it on my schedule and see if I can work out something with my little nieces and nephews, and maybe
Okay. They
we'll
would love it.
take a
They would
stroll
love it.
up there, and I don't want to ruin their appetite on bad barbecue because we have outstanding barbecue down in this area.
Oh, well, this is some good barbecue. This is representative of this area.
Okay, we got a couple of minutes. We're doing good on time. Any questions for Dr. Gordon? Any accolades? Good presentations. I appreciate it. I learned something. I like to learn more about it. Anything. This is your moment.
Yeah,
Ab-
I'd like to say thank you so much for
Go ahead,
sharing.
ma'am. Mm.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you,
Um,
Amanda.
One, I love history, and so I'm in. Two, I have a friend who, African American male, who has a ranch in Texas, and
Oh.
it's so interesting to hear his perspective and how things are different for him, and the stigma that he experiences.
Mhm.
Um, and I don't know what number I'm on, 4 or 5, 3. I don't know. My my son is a mixed child, and while his family is from, we North Carolina, is where they're able to trace their ancestry back from coming over from Africa. And we live here in Florida now, so I want to
Yeah.
get him connected to the community here. So I'm super excited to hear about this. And
Okay.
we're in Clearwater, so I don't know if we can make it up, but I would love it if we could attend at least that Saturday. Be lovely.
Okay. That would be great. And as I said, Rick Walker, Rick he's an expert in the beef unit over in IFAS here at University of Florida. That's our big agricultural area. And he has a farm, and that's what he trains kids from little kids on up in rodeo and various things. My little nieces, when they were like little, like 8 and 9 and whatever, my a niece had them on this, what is it, sheep racing things. They would be holding on to these sheep, looked like they were going 60 miles an hour, but they were enjoying it. So yeah, there's a lot of room to put your kids in this, and it is a wonderful thing to have them into, Amanda. But let me give you my phone number again. You can just contact me and I can give you more information. 352
Wonderful.
352 256 6671. Oh, I love Clearwater.
Thank you.
It's a beautiful place. And also, Miss Lucille Clark, I want to get in contact with you too, with our African American Historical Society. Dr.
Um,
Jacob Gordon is the
I,
president.
actually, Brother Imani is one of the founders
Mm-hmm.
of this society. But sure, I'd
Okay.
be happy to talk to you.
Okay. Yeah. And we could collaborate on this 250th anniversary of U.S. history, African American legacies in Florida. So, okay. Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Dr. Gordon, I just want to thank you for coming on and enlightening me, first of all, and then also enlightening us collectively to Black cowboys and Black cowgirls. I didn't know as much as you have shared, and I'm sure that there's even more for me to learn. But I do want to thank you so much for your very very valuable historical lesson that you've given us on this morning as well. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much, Dr. Reverend Ailes, for giving us this opportunity to talk about it more.
Hmm. Yeah, we got to get this information out. We have to, I'm sorry, Baba, you are on mute.
Do we have a second presenter?
Uh, I mean, Amanda, she does,
If
the mental
if you
illness
don't
piece, but no.
mind, yeah, if you don't mind, I would just like to take a minute and can we talk about the bill and how we can be supportive right now?
Okay, well, let's go back to
Yes.
Imam then, so he can bring us up a little bit more on the bill. The one was about declaring the CARES organization as a terrorist organization, not allowing it to operate and function in the state and register, and Muslim charter schools as terrorist organizations are not allowing them the legitimacy of funding and support that other schools can access. Imam Hussan.
Yo, do you know what charter is?
Yeah, I'm trying to just pull it up real quick. Um,
Hold up, here it is. I didn't bring it with me. Hold up.
so basically, for the Islamic schools they haven't designated anything yet, but I know in Texas they're doing something similar. But what this bill allows is like for 5 people in a committee to decide without public evidence or anything that they can declare anyone to be a terrorist, or can be like, or can stop them. So even if they're innocent, but once that declaration is made, they would have to stop everything they're doing. And so for example, in our situation, because we're right next to care, so we'd have to, because the bill goes into effect July 1st, we'd have to see legally what we can and cannot do. And I know they're suing right now because they won the first time they sued DeSantis, and he failed in that declaration, but now they signed the bill. He signed the bill for it, and I shared the thing in the chat. It gives a little explanation.
Hold up. I mean, you're saying he signed some sort of bill that says where you can and cannot go? Did I hear that?
Let me see where I'll go to. One second.
I mean, that sounds like Jim Crow.
No, because we so care, because they're civil rights. I mean, they declared them in Muslim Brotherhood. Muslim Brotherhood really doesn't exist, but basically what this bill does, it gives the right to those 5 people to designate anyone or anything as a terrorist or organization, and the evidence doesn't have to be public. That's the main issue with the bill.
Any 5 people, not like a committee. Is that what I heard?
No, they have 5 people. No, they have the certain 5 people. 3 of them are one of them was a sponsor of the bill. So there's
Oh,
a certain 5 already. They designated. Yeah.
are these elected individuals, or
Correct.
how do they decide?
But it can be anything, and that's the thing. It's so spontaneous. Like it's a vague bill. It's very
I guess I'm
like
wondering who are the 5 people? Do we know?
yeah. I think like, I don't have their names now. I can send it later.
That's okay. I'm just wondering, if there's a vague shot at all that they're good people.
I mean, they're big proponents of the bill or supporters of it.
Okay, is there a bill number, Imam?
Yeah, I'll send it.
Okay.
How can we support? How can we help? What can we do?
So on Monday or Tuesday, we had a they had a press conference, and all of the Christian groups came here. I mean, they were the main speakers, even against the bill. And they're saying today is this, tomorrow can be anything else for private schools and so forth. So a lot of them actually have been very, very supportive.
I'm not certain how much
So it's
does
HB
to it, but
HB
Lifeline is a
1471.
private school.
The bill is HB 1471.
Okay, thank you.
So what is the pathway? I mean, what should you said that they were demonstrating there yesterday, Imam Hassan, and what are the other steps that we can do
No, they weren't demonstrating.
to
They had
come
a press
along?
conference.
Oh,
No,
press
they had a
conference.
press conference. Yeah, it was a press conference. So there's a
Okay.
lot of support from that. I mean, right now, CARE did a lawsuit, like they're doing a lawsuit against the bill. All right,
Okay.
and so basically, this is what the bill, this is what DeSantis put on his page. If you go on his page, it says banning Sharia law, and then designated the Muslim Brotherhood and CARE as terrorist organization in Florida. Directed all levels of government to deny contracts, taxpayer funding, public employment, and benefits to those providing material support. Directed law enforcement to use lawful tools to prevent terrorist organizations from operating or gaining foothold. Strengthening oversight of foreign influence in higher education. Prohibited partnerships between Florida institutions and foreign adversaries. And then ensured taxpayers' dollars are not used to support dangerous or destabilizing ideologies. Expanded law enforcement tools to identify and respond to emerging threats. So, and he basically says like, yeah, so it's basically this is on his Facebook page.
Imam Hassan, I am so sorry for this. And I just want to say, you're not a terrorist. TMC is not a terrorist organization.
I know it's
And you
for so
yeah.
we're good for now. Is just that at the end of the day, most of things are not about truth. It's more about perception. People don't seek truth; they seek يعني, well, we're good for now. It's just because we're next to CARE. So, but CARE also, I mean, they just promote civil rights.
And what CARES is an acronym, is that correct?
Yeah, this Civil Right Council on American Islamic Rights. So they help people with they basically have lawyers that help people with cases that whether it's racism, mistreatment, things around those nature.
Okay.
I see Reverend Judith's hand.
Yeah, I mean, I just really want to say that this is just so common for the propaganda playbook, right? Is that they take a person who's actually fighting for free speech and fighting against racism, and then they characterize them as a terrorist. And I put in the chat, who are the terrorists? I thought it was really on point about how we as Americans, what we're doing in the Middle East is terrorism. What Israel has been doing for 77 years is terrorism, and how we call other people terrorists when they threaten our agenda. And so I think education is really important for people, and to talk about the landmark cases where people have been set free that were once called terrorists and that really were the guy that was the head of the Buddhist Society, I forget his name, from Vermont, that they put in jail, and that the whole, state of Vermont and all their politicians masterfully got out of jail for fighting for Palestine. But, there's been just a history of that in our country. And I think that lots of people. I'm sorry. Is someone trying to say something? Anyway, I think there's a lot of people who can speak on that point, right now, especially all this Islamophobia that's going on to try to justify this war in Iran. I'm here in South Carolina, land of Mitch McConnell, and I am just stunned at the amount of people around me that think this is quote unquote a just war. It's just pathetic. So, Imam Hassan, thank you for bringing it all to our attention, and I hope that there's some way that we can support you.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Can
Yeah,
you explain? And I'm sorry, I know we
ahead.
don't have much time, but I am not as educated as I should be on this. And when I try to look up, Sharia law, it seems like a guideline and principles of morality and how to live a life. How is that any different than a Christian's guidelines, or how is that any different than a Baptist guidelines? And I don't understand. Am I missing something?
But that's the funny thing about it. If you read a lot of the comments, even on the sentence, like a lot of mostly non-Muslims are saying like this is just as Sharia law is just as bad or like this is a threat to me, like not like it's not even a threat basically. And so I was saying was Sharia just means basic law, for example, it's like the Ten Commandments, similar to that. It's very similar. So it's nothing but even in Islam, we have the rule that we don't enforce, like we follow the law of the land. This is one of the things about Sharia is that we follow the land we live in and be law-abiding citizens, and we don't enforce certain things. So, for example, let's say we're not allowed to drink alcohol, but that's something we can only impose on ourselves personally, right? We don't impose that upon others. So basically, Sharia includes being nice to your neighbors, being good to your parents, giving charity, and all these different things. But the way they say it makes it look like a scary thing, especially on Fox News.
So then I am accurate. This is just pure
Yeah,
racism.
yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, I would like for the imams, if the question is appropriate, from some of the dialogue that is taking place, maybe some of y'all have had more world religion education than I have. Just a little rural boy coming up in this area as an orange picker background, working with people who were not necessarily high school or college educated, to just come on and just share with us. I understand there may be a slightly different application to Islam as practiced from the Persian standpoint versus the Arabic standpoint, at least the application of Sharia law. Is there a distinction, a slight distinction there somewhere?
Yeah, I'd like you to speak to that too, Imam, about this person I'm always hearing about in the news that's, going to be put in jail. A woman, a journalist, and 150, what do they call it when they beat you in the back? All these what seem to be, really horrible forms of torture. And I always think, is that true? Because they lie a
Yeah.
lot.
So it's a very good question. So what happened is when Islam came down, and they're like 632 AD, and Prophet Muhammad was the final messenger, and Islam was established as a system, as a governing force, right? And it spread throughout the world to China, to Africa, and most of it was done through trade, through honesty. Like it wasn't forced upon anyone. Long story short, up until 1924, when Balfour made the declaration to promise the Jews a homeland in Palestine, and they also brought in the British brought in some people that diffused the Islamic ruling system that existed. So ever since 1924 on, all the 52 Muslim land countries were under one leader. After that, British, France, and Italy divided up where they all take a part of, they set their people there, their leaders in those countries to dictate, controlling the economic place, the oil, the resources, put constraints. And then the US got involved and of course became the most powerful country in the 60s, 70s. And now most leaders in the Muslim world serve the interests of the US, like in Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, Bahrain, and all of them. To the point they say US has 52 states, Saudi Arabia and Israel. So in these countries, right, like in the Middle East, the dictatorships, like for example, a gathering like this in a lot of Muslim lands is illegal, right? You can get in trouble for giving a sermon. You can get in trouble for protesting. And it's a little different now, but it's still um, there's a lot of restraints that they have. Now, when it comes to Sharia itself and enforcing it, you can only enforce it where there's a certain system in place, which hasn't been in place for over 100 years. So none of these Muslim countries actually enforce Sharia. They basically, it's a lot of imperialism, colonization of the lands, and that exists there. All right. So, for example, Saudi gives more oil to the U.S. than it gives to its own people. Iraq, it was bombed and destroyed. Again, they took most of its resources. You look at Nigeria, they take their gold and other resources and they use it. They do that in all different parts of the world, not only Muslims, anywhere where there's a capitalistic benefit. That being said, when it comes to the punishment system, this is something that is one of the most misunderstood things in Islam, which I think I can elaborate more on a different time, but just to say quickly, Islam said, like, if you look at history in Spain, in Europe, the Christian women and Jewish women would want to be under Islamic protection because of how they treated the women, right? No rape, no, they had the right to choose who they want to marry. They weren't forced into things. They had the right to divorce. So you would see in history when Islam was in the different lands. You look at Egypt, for example, they have some of the oldest churches. You look at Lebanon, which is being bombed now, has the highest population of Christians in the Muslim Middle East. You look at Palestine, even Jordan. My grandfather was a scholar there. They had churches that were never touched, that would never mess with. And you would see that throughout the world that they never enforced people to follow Islam. Even under Islamic ruling, they were able to live their lives normally for the longest time. Even the Sunni Shia thing was never a thing till the US attacked Iraq in 2003, when they brought that to divide the Muslim lands amongst one another. But it was never, they lived peacefully for hundreds of years together.
Okay, thank you, boy. I tell you, you get it all here on the Lifeline.
I know that's right. I know that's right. Oh my goodness.
So today we have had an update, a mini presentation on some of the issues that are current and relevant to us on the faith-based side, and this is a faith-based platform that we're on here today. We've been open for good and free questions. I appreciate those questions, Amanda, Reverend Judith, Reverend L, and others, particularly with most people being of the Christian faith and the Christian background. But there's nothing like enlightenment, at least to be able to participate in a forum where there's open discussion and dialogue taking place.
Yeah.
And in the process of our education, the pillar of our education is indoctrination, leaning towards one school of thought versus the other school of thought. So I want to be thankful for that. I want to thank Dr. Gordon for her wonderful presentation, connecting us back to the land, taking us way back. And we talk about therapy on this platform a lot, and there's a lot of therapy. And when you're out in the open, experiencing nature, being close to nature, and you don't have to be hanging out in the malls to feel a sense of self-worth and value and everything. You
That's
don't
right.
have to be denigrating yourselves and things just to be out and I'm gonna try to come up and ride a horse to be interesting enough. I don't think I ever been in a saddle before. Not not on a horse.
What?
I don't think so, you
It's
know.
safe, and we'll make sure it's safe, and the horse handlers are experts at this. It's their horses too.
Okay, well, I'm going to plan it. I'm leaning heavily in that direction right now. So, and then we did a little bit with Brother Lamont talking about collectively working with
Yes.
him with his business and to raise money for his school and things like that. So we have
Mhm.
a lot going on, and then there's some individuals who just say they're glad to be here today, and all of it
Mhm.
is wonderful. And the Queen Mother Lucille is talking about Kairos and on behalf of Queen Mother and myself, we invite you all to join us at 7 p.m. this evening for a
Okay.
National Poetry Month celebration. We do it every year. We do it the second and fourth Thursday virtually every Thursday, not every Thursday, every April. And you can read your own poem. You can read a poem, a favorite of yours, or you could just come on and listen. If nobody else will, Brother Imani will take up the whole hour. And if nobody comes on, Brother Imani will read his poems and clap for himself and say hallelujah nonetheless. But we certainly encourage you all to come on if you have time to do it.
I placed the link in the chat.
Okay, she placed the link into the chat. Brother, Reverend Dr. Ailes, I'm gonna pass it on to you. You have a busy day. He did a first aid workshop, mental health first aid workshop. He'll be meeting with a group of veterans today around 1 o'clock through the Omega thing. He has a 3 o'clock political forum inviting candidates in Hernando County to come down to the Elks Lodge. And then I guess he got a prison ministry or something going on in the evening time on Thursday evenings and things. So I don't know how anybody can get 25 hours out of a 24-hour day. Reverend Dr. L does. Reverend Ailes, on you.
To God be the glory. And Baba, could we give Baba Asakili a virtual round of applause and raising hands? He did a great job on today. Yes. I see that, Mother Lucia. Excellent job co-hosting on today. Thank you all for your presentations. I am more enlightened. I am energized. I am ready to go. I can go a little more farther now. Because of all of you on the Lifeline on today. I did want to just recognize one last person who just came on a little late, Tabitha Shannon. Tabitha, how are you doing? Give us a 30-second how you doing before we can close out. How you feeling? Thank you for coming on the Lifeline this morning.
Praise the Lord. I'm
Hey.
sorry. When I seen the link this morning, that was my plan to. I always place you on my schedule, especially when the
Hey.
link comes through my email. But I am Dr. Tabitha Shannon. I am a senior pastor at Lift One Voice Entirely Ministries. I also work for One More Child with Family Support, which I'm a case manager. I deal with a lot of single mothers that's struggling, single parents that's struggling. So if y'all have any information, especially about mental health, where they can get help with mental health services, I'm always recommending mental health. They're like, there's nothing wrong with that.
Can you share your contact, please?
Absolutely.
Well,
I am driving,
Pastor,
but I'm sorry.
yeah, we need your contact information, Pastor.
Okay. My contact information is 813. Somebody can write that down for me, please.
Yeah, we're getting it. Go ahead.
It's
This is being recorded.
813-703-7272. 813-703-7272. And then that way I can send you out a flyer of with the family support and the zip codes that we serve in Tampa, Florida. So if anybody have any information or would like to share information, I'll be happy to pass it on to the families I serve.
Wonderful.
Would you be willing? Would you be willing to come back on next Thursday
Absolutely.
and give us a word? Give us a word. Be ready to give us a word as well.
Well, I got to look on my calendar on that one because my hands are. I'm already stretched. Look.
I
Listen,
understand.
this is my
I
season of stretching.
understand. I understand.
This
I
is definitely
understand.
my
I'm not
season.
going to put no pressure on you to preach a word. I'm not going to put no pressure on you to preach a word, but at least come back next Thursday, so we can
Absolutely.
get some more information and share some more information with you as well.
Absolutely.
Thank you so very much.
God bless you all.
And Rontero joined us
Blessings to you as
today.
well. Rontero Black.
Yeah, she's in
Hey,
class.
how you doing? You in class? Could you say anything? Well, first of all, well, we just want to recognize you. Thank you for being on, Sister Black. Sister Black has been on from, and we appreciate your dedication and your presence on today. Well, it is 10 a.m. 10:01. So I apologize for keeping you all past 10 o'clock, but I'm going to ask Dr. Tash, would you take us out with a word of prayer?
Sure thing. My baby might be crying in the background, so just bear with that. All right. Gracious and Heavenly Father, in the name of Jesus, Lord, we just thank you this day. We thank you so much for everything that we've learned. Thank you for this fellowship. Thank you for this group. Thank you for just covering, just covering people out there that really need it today. And we just appreciate this time to come together and be on one accord. And so we just ask you to go before us for the rest of our day and help us. In Jesus' name, amen.
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 And peace to the Middle East. Peace to the Middle East. Blessings to you all. Look forward to seeing you all on the Lifeline next Thursday.
Okay, sounds good. Plan to be here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, brother, that was a blessing. Oh my goodness. That was a blessing.
Well, they all have a
Real
way
good.
of taking their own course, and
Yeah.
necessary direction. So it was good. The Black Cowboys,
Yeah.
the Black Cowboys didn't show up. Not the Black Farmers.
That was them. I thought that was them. That was her.
That's what Gloria represents.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I kind of
Okay.
I guess I misspoke. It was the black. It was the Black Cowboys as opposed to the Black Farmers. She was
Okay.
the one. It was her who asked could she
Okay.
come on.
Yeah, I remember when I remember when she was 30 years younger.
But then maybe we do need to circle. Maybe we do need to circle back to the Black Farmers though, huh?
Well, I don't know. I think when they have something going on, that's fine. That captured
Yeah.
quite a bit on there. So
It certainly did.
yeah, you've been leading it. We did good on time. She had plenty of time. She had about 20 minutes almost. So I think she got it all in. So
Yeah, she got more than I think she was very pleased about getting what she got in, and then also learning about other people like Amanda
yeah,
and Mother Lucille. She mentioned Mother Lucille several times. In fact, I
yes,
think she even licensed and reverend and ordained Mother
yes,
Lucille
she
at one
did.
time.
She
Didn't
did. She
Reverend
did.
Dr. Lucille?
Yeah, she did. She certainly did. Yeah, she did.
That's all right.
Yeah, she did. So, but that's what we got going on. And so a good day. We didn't get to follow up on the business course. with is it the
And
Porters?
that's the date. Yes, that's the date. That's actually it's supposed to be at 10:30. Let me shift because I told you I got to get this tire. I got to go down
Oh,
the
you
street
did.
here and I
Okay.
got to get prepared for for tonight at 6 p.m. on 3 p.m.
Okay.
So yeah, let me go ahead and shift it. Yeah, and we'll be back on hopefully at 10:30.